let's get into the nitty-gritty of this Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef, because it's juicier than a soap opera. Drake, who's always got this LA vibe going on, is seriously delusional if he thinks he can pull off performing Family Matters in Los Angeles without facing some serious heat. First off, why is this track so controversial? Family Matters isn't just a song. It's a straight-up diss aimed at Kendrick, throwing shade at his family life, his fiancé, and even questioning the legitimacy of his kids. Drake's out here airing what he thinks is Kendrick's dirty laundry. But if you know anything about LA, you know they don't play when it comes to their own.
I mean, that's Canada. That's like Drake. If Drake went to the Forum right now and performed Family Matters,
it'd be a problem.
It'd be a problem.
Yeah.
The crowd will respond.
Yeah, I mean, look,
You know
I had Boosie on my show recently, and he didn't like the whole battle at all because from his point of view, coming from Baton Rouge, he said 95% of the murders in the city are over rap beef.
Once I got to a point in life when hip-hop beef affected me and all the people I was around, and, you know, I choose not to agree with it, Vlad. You know, most of my beefs came from people rapping about me. Street wars came from people rapping about me. Once I got older and I enjoyed watching it when it was Pac and Biggie. When Pac came back, I was a Tupac kid, but I was 12 and 13 years old. I never experienced a rap beef when I got to rapping at 15 that didn't result in somebody losing their life. 95% of the murders in my city are rap beef. Chicago, 95% of the murder. And once you get a grown man, you realize every rap beef has led to destruction.
Kendrick is not just any rapper. He's an LA icon, and the city stands behind him 100%. Now, imagine Drake rolling into LA, a city where Kendrick's influence runs deep, and trying to perform a track that disrespects one of their own. LA fans are fiercely loyal, and they'd see it as a massive sign of disrespect, not just to Kendrick, but to the whole city. We're talking about a place where rap isn't just music. It's culture, it's history, it's life.
And we started going through it. I'm like, well, that's not really like that in hip-hop in general. We started going down the list of all the hip-hop battles, and I started to notice that actually most of the battles had some sort of violent aspect that would happen to it. Down to like Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, there's a shooting in front of Hot 97. I interviewed, Gutta, who went to jail over that shooting. The Eazy-E NWA battle. There was some violence that happened at the Jack the Rapper conventions and stuff like that. Like, not everyone gets killed like Tupac and Biggie, but there's usually some violence around it. And now the Drake and, Kendrick battle, there is some violence around it as well. So
and that's what makes this rap beef so monumental. It's not built on any of that. There's not even an inkling of that anywhere. There's nobody on Kendrick's side saying, we can't wait to run into Drake. There's nobody on Drake's side saying, we're gonna drop a bag on Kendrick. Actually, it's people in the middle of it that's talking to both sides who said, all right, are we done? We're done. Drake knew they was gonna shoot a video. He was they gonna shoot this video, okay, cool, right? So there's none of that. What Bootsy was talking about, that's what it shouldn't have been, because you really was dealing with a lot of stupidity and a lot of BS, and a lot of that was driven by conflict, pre-existing conflict that was already there. You in Baton Rouge, you got this camp and this camp, they already beefing. They've been beefing 10, 15, 20 years over this robbery, that chick, this homie got stabbed in the jailhouse, or whatever. This is Drake and Kendrick. So let's analyze it. What was Kendrick's first war tour?
Well, he opened up for Drake.
There we go.
Yeah.
Let's look at the history. Yeah. I just named the history of what probably happened in Baton Rouge or these other cities, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Their history start with Drake allowing Kendrick to go on his world tour, right? Okay, great. Somewhere in there, I still don't know, maybe you know, right? We can both say that helped Kendrick.
Yeah.
Right? Somewhere in there, something happened with Drake and Kendrick.
Yeah, no one's
I
really
don't
sure.
know where.
No one's really sure. Because I remember I did a poll. I said, who really started the Drake and Kendrick beef? And it was like 50-50 with like thousands of votes. Like no one really understands who said what, when, where, whatever. It could be just a general competition
I
thing.
don't know. Maybe it was a line. It was a bar.
There's a control verse. There's this.
Ooh,
there's,
you hear that? People, fans
the
start saying
ESPN
he's talking about him.
interview,
But what I do know, it wasn't. Nobody got robbed. Nobody got shot. He had sex with my girl.
Yeah.
He took some money from me. None of these things factor into whatever went on from their start, which was positive, right? Touring together, to whatever happened in the middle. It had nothing to do with any of that stuff, to how it ended now. And it was bar for bar, song for song, creativity for creativity. You know what I'm saying?
Kendrick's got the streets on lock, and they won't hesitate to remind Drake of that if he steps out of line. So what would happen if Drake actually tried to perform Family Matters in LA? Well, let's just say it wouldn't end with applause. He'd be facing more than just boos. This is the kind of move that could literally put his life in danger. Remember what happened to Biggie and Tupac? This beef is teetering on that edge, where words can escalate into real violence. Drake might be big in Toronto, where he's practically royalty, but LA is a different story. Out there, Kendrick's word is law, and breaking that law could cost Drake more than just his reputation.
And look, what I think is the real reason that the rap beef is over is because Drake's bodyguard got shot at his house. Now we have actual serious violence.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with this.
I'm not saying it does, but it does.
No.
You're saying that this is
No.
a total coincidence, that out of nowhere, his bodyguard gets shot in front of his house.
Brother.
Remember, he also dissed The Weeknd, who's from Canada, called him a drug addict,
Well, hold
you
on.
know,
Well,
a
hold
bum
on.
from the north
Hold
side
on.
or something.
So when we talking about the rap beef, we've already narrowed it down to Kendrick and Drake.
Yeah, but Drake went at a bunch of people.
No, but Kendrick didn't say Weeknd get on this song, right? He didn't. So the rap beef, as far as we
Well,
concerned,
but didn't The Weeknd jump on a Metro Boomin song
yeah,
and diss Drake?
He definitely did.
So
but,
the beef is, I'm just saying the overall beef is over because Drake just had one of his people shot.
but
That's all I'm saying.
But the beef has already
Not to
been
say who knows behind
narrowed
it.
down to Kendrick and Drake. We didn't forgot about Future, Metro Boomin. We didn't forget Ross was over there trolling.
A$AP Rocky.
We didn't forgot about all those. We didn't forgot about all those dudes, right? And you know, I don't know what brought that on, and it's other things going on because another manager down here, it was a shooting over there,
Oh, you talking about
right?
EXO, the dude from EXO. What's
And
his
I
name?
believe he's
Cash, I
tied to,
think.
yeah,
Was it The Weeknd's
he's
manager?
tied to Weeknd, right?
Yeah, there's that.
So, you know, you got that going on, but we don't know what's going on. He just happened to be his management team. We don't know what he got going on. Why is it over the weekend? People were blaming Drake for that shit. I know Drake's not, he's rapping. That's not him, right? But then we got a thing way up here in Canada, and this first thing I see is Kendrick Lamar being sought out for questioning. Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
No one's Kendrick is not sending someone over the border to go shoot up Drake's
on,
house.
man.
You know what's crazy to me, though, is the fact that Drake doesn't live in a gated community. That was mind-blowing to me.
That was a trip.
Mind-blowing. Because you can't go shoot up my house. You got to go through
You gotta
go through a
some shit.
gate. You got to give them your ID.
Yeah.
There's cameras everywhere. There's patrol, security. You can't do it.
I don't know.
You can't do it. The fact that you could actually pull up to Drake's house and
He's
get
not
it
even
and
gated
shoot.
in the front?
I'm sure there is, but I think it's on a public street though.
Oh, yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Like you got to have double gates.
Yeah,
You can have the gate in the front, but you also need the guard gate.
that's real.
I wouldn't live in a non-guard gated community at this point in my life. That's just where I am in life.
Maybe he thought
I'm just glad. Like,
maybe he thinks he's Drake.
yeah, I'm the king of Canada. Who's gonna shoot up my house?
Somebody definitely
So
shot
he
that
shot up his
motherfucker.
house. Yeah, exactly. It was a drive-by. I heard.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Did his security have on a vest?
Well, I'm not sure, but but I read that his security was rushed to the hospital and put into surgery right away. Now, I'm assuming, since it hasn't been announced that security died, that he probably made it. But that's still, I heard he was like in critical condition. I heard it was like a situation where they had to fix him up right away or
Drake
else.
just taking L's everywhere.
Yeah, then people are breaking into his house, you know, like where there's been a couple of two situations where people have been like,
security shot up at the house.
Yeah, the store sprayed up. They not like us.
Trying to burn down the house.
Yeah, no, it's wild, man.
Yo, this is his.
This is wild. It's a wild time.
It could cost him his life. The reality is, Drake knows better than to test those waters. That's why you'll see him spitting that track safe and sound in Toronto, where the crowd is all love. But when it comes to LA, he wouldn't dare. The city would turn on him faster than you can say West Coast. And Kendrick's army would be right there, ready to remind him who really runs things out there. In short, Drake might talk a big game, but even he knows there are some lines you don't cross. And performing Family Matters in LA is one of them.